his sights set on becoming a 3-time Euro Tour champion. Steve West is playing the darts of his life. Unbelievable step up in quality from Steve West over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Can he continue in a similar vein here in Hildesheim today?
Hang on, ladies and gentlemen. First leg is Steve to throw first. Game on.
Game on, says Paul Hinks. As Steve West has the throw. Dan Dawson in the commentary box, Paul Nicholson alongside me. Now, Paul, we were speaking to Kim Huybrechts last night. He played Ted Everts last game on, and
55.
He was obviously in trouble with his arm. We have more details on that, if you want to elaborate on them.
Yeah, I had a conversation with Kim, with yourself, Dan, and it's
60.
not good news, really, for Kim Huybrechts. He's such a hard worker. He practices so much. And I'd go so far to say that he's one of the top 3
100
hard workers on the tour. He really does squeeze everything out of his game. But at the moment, there are issues with a sprained wrist from a very innocuous thing with a sweatshirt.
180.
So the warning to you aspiring dart players out there is make sure that you're nowhere near a wall when you're putting your sweatshirt
43.
on. And he has got some pain in his elbow, which he's getting some acupuncture for. Looks like tennis elbow. I'll tell you what,
140.
not doing bad for a guy with a few niggles, that's for sure. But these are issues that he has said he is going to play through. I'm a dart player. I like to play everything.
133. Kim McCraw,
And he's going to go through the rest of the year and just do what he can. But I think what I liked about what Kim was saying last night more than anything else
41.
is that he already knows he can't practice as much as he usually can. He's got to scale it back and basically do a lot more quality practice as opposed to just long
64.
other types of practice.
80.
Well, he's looking at 80 here. He started this one off well for a 14-darter double 10. Now double 5 for a break of throw.
70.
Misses outside. West looks at the 106. Yeah, Kim usually practices for about 4 hours before he takes the stage. He says he's not doing that. Treble 18 for... well, he stayed there. He liked the lie. Would have left double 13, but couldn't find the treble anyway. So it will be a break of throw for Kim Huybrechts in 16 darts. Now, that's all well and good, not practicing for 4 hours and going up there and playing a game. But Kim Huybrechts, if he's going to win a 3rd Euro Tour title, has got to win 4 games today. Now, that is going to be a huge ask for the Belgian if he is
100.
struggling with this arm problem. We saw very obviously last night, he was holding his arm from very early on in the game against Ted Everts. And by the end of it, I mean, it was painful
60.
to watch him. It looked in genuine pain when he was throwing each dart, and we saw more and more using the shoulder rather than just moving from the elbow, just because he was trying to get some force in
60.
there without causing more pressure and pain around that elbow region.
And it's not like he's got a break over the next 3 months. Barnsley next week,
140.
European Championships. I'm sure he's got a few exhibitions booked in between now and the World Championships. Got the Players, you've got the World Series finals potentially.
180.
Grand Slam of darts potentially.
Well, I suggested to him that maybe it'd be worth his while taking Barnsley
54.
off next
Give me a
weekend.
call,
And he immediately shot me down and said, I'm a fighter, I'm going. I want to play everything. And you look at his results this year,
64.
since May, I mean, he's had 7 semi-finals and a final. Should have won a Euro Tour event, missed 7 darts for the title against Mensur Suljovic last month. So 180 for Steve West, gets him back into this leg. But maybe not for very long. Double 10.
87.
No, by virtue of that
Senior
180,
class,
Steve West has
67.
got this chance at 67 to break straight back. 10 for tops. Tops it is to break back. And there it is. And he was lethal on that section on Friday when he beat his brother Tony.
Game on.
When he whitewashed his brother. He will have lost at the moment because he wants that place in the quarters. Dearly wants that place in the quarters. He's not just looking
100.
towards the European Championships now because he will be there. He's looking further into the future. He's looking at World Championship qualification, which he has.
100.
He's looking at Players Championship qualification, which he has. He's got more in the bank now than he has ever had in his career, and that is making Steve West happy.
91.
Well, why not? Because, quite frankly, Steve West, having never made a quarter-final of a PDC ranking event over a number of years
100.
of playing PDC darts, last month went and made his first final out of a clear blue sky, went 5-5 with Michael Van Gogh and was looking at 110 to win the game. Van Gogh had won the previous two events and nobody got close to him. Nobody had taken him to a deciding leg even. And Steve West at 110 to win his first title.
Steve Yucar, 170.
Was unable to take it out. First dart into the 5. That scuppered his plans. Will he go for the 170? Will he go for the 170? Oh, he did. It would have been the second one we'd seen today. He is full of confidence, Steve West, but he followed that up with a semi-final in Dublin. Then he went and beat Phil Taylor, his best TV performance. He's gone an average 110 in beating his brother 6-0. In the space of about 25 days, Steve West has had 3 or 4 of the best experiences of his darting career. And it's just been signed by a new management company.
You got anything else? That's a lot of positivity for the West camp, that's for sure. And again, I bring this up because it fills a lot of good dart players out there who have lost their way a little bit.
140.
It gives them a bit more belief for the future because Steve West is in his 40s. He's coming into his peak maybe in his 40s. It's exactly the same happened to Gary
48.
Anderson. He started playing the best darts of his life in his 40s. Phil Taylor played the best darts of his life, I believe, in his 40s. There are some players who don't even make it to the pro game past their late 30s. Wayne Mardle decided to go into commentary and not play professional darts anymore, and he was in his late 30s. Rod Harrington decided not to continue.
85.
It is very difficult to predict when a dart player is going to reach his peak, but even it's in those troughs where you have to be doing enough to make the game pay, to stick at it, to be able to keep playing professional darts, just to see if things will turn again. And some players never find themselves in that position, and it is tough. But Steve West has been, dodging about, he'll win the odd game here and there. But as I say, if you're not making any quarterfinals in any ranking events, which he's doing for a long, long time, then it's got to be difficult to maintain that belief that you can go on and challenge for things. But he has, and he's doing that now.
Well, using Wayne Mardle as an example, he once said that he lost the fight. And that's one thing that you definitely need in the pro game right now. And I think over the course of the last year, Steve West has been involved in a lot of ding-dong battles with people, and he's been fighting. And now he's starting to fight with people like Huybrechts, who, in his own words last night, said he loves a darts fight.
He certainly does. We know that. Met 3 times in the past, these two. Steve West has won 1 of them, but that was way back in 2009, the World Masters they met. But the other 2 meetings were both last year in the PDC. 6-1 win in Coventry for Kim and a 5-2 win at the Grand Slam of darts. So it's been a while since they've met, but the thing is, Steve West is a different animal right now from the Steve West that you came up against at any point in his PDC career. Yes, we've seen him throw very good darts. But we were saying before he went on this run, a number of times actually, that Steve West has actually played some really good stuff and ended up losing games that you just felt, oh, I thought he had that one. Something has changed, and it's very difficult to figure out exactly what. Becoming rather a staple at darts now, that Icelandic champ.
What's it going to be next?
98.
I'm not sure the dab's quite catching on, despite Ian White's best effort.
Give it time. All he needs is the right vehicle, the right game.
We won't be seeing it again this weekend, sadly.
82. Kim Yucar, 164.
Well, encouragingly for the Huybrechts camp, no grimaces from the arm or the wrist yet. Seems to be
60.
throwing okay. The only grimace there was because he didn't hit a 60. And in the 60, I mean a treble 20, because he did actually hit 60.
125. Kim Yucar, 104.
92 left. Now all of a sudden Steve West can steal this leg. It's on his throw.
65.
It's a leg that he should win, you would feel. I like treble 11 here, but he likes 25 and tops.
46. 55.
Oh, big chance.
Kim, you require 56.
Now, ordinarily, Kim would gobble this up. And he does.
Shot on the 5th leg. Kim Huybrechts.
There's a lot of grip in that left hand there. There wasn't as much in the right. Just being careful. That's a breaker throw.
It has got to be very difficult for Kim, because you know, and he will say that I am an emotional player, I am an aggressive player, and
100.
I believe it brings the best darts out of him when he is bouncing around on stage and shouting and jumping and clenching his fists. But there's got to be a little nagging voice in the back of his big Belgian head just saying, just look after that arm, just calm it down a little bit. And if you're not playing your natural game, you're not going through all the processes that you go through year after year to try and get the best out of yourself when you play darts. You know, you're very, very specific practice regimes, whether you do different games or whatever, but you still have time you set aside, and he's not doing that. I mean, it could go one of two ways. It could, you know, knock him out of his rhythm, or it could actually get him to focus a little bit more. He's actually started pretty well here. It's not amazing, but it's sort of a similar level from we saw last night against Ted Everts when he won 6-4 with a 92 average. He's averaging round about that at the minute. But Kim knows what it takes to win these, and it means you have to get better over the course of the day. You have to, by this evening session, you're going to need a game or two where you're averaging ton just over, because you're coming up against the likes of Van Gerwen or Chisnell or whoever who are going to be playing well.
133.
Well, if one guy knows about Van Gerwen's scuppering plans, that's Kim Huybrechts. He has beaten Kim Huybrechts in a lot of games over the last couple of years. He's cost him a lot of prize money, as he has with a lot of players.
100.
Yes.
Kim require 32.
But Kim firmly likes double 16 and gets that two-leg cushion.
7 leg is Steve de Drovers. Kim on.
Now we're going to see some magic from Mr. West. Otherwise, Kim Huybrechts will have to play again later on, and will want to play again later on. That's where Steve needs to be.
140.
The fighting qualities of West over the last few weeks have been brilliant. He's been involved in some really great games.
57.
And it doesn't matter what situation you're in. You just believe that you can come through it. That's what confidence does. It goes
60.
through your entire body, and it in every facet of life. You know, if you have a great boost of confidence in your darts, you feel like you can do anything in life. And 59. That's where Steve West is at the moment. He will think, yes, I'm 4-2 behind. I'm going to plug away, I'm going to keep fighting, and I know I can still win this.
Well, it is that
100.
magic, unquantifiable factor, confidence in professional sport. It has to make a difference. Has to.
60.
You see placebos have an effect. You can take tablets with nothing in them, and it suddenly cures whatever is ailing you. The mind is a strange thing, particularly 95. A dart player's mind. And if he thinks he can win, if he believes he can win, when previously he didn't, he's more likely to win.
61.
And after a final and a semi-final and beating Taylor and averaging 110 against his brother in a 6-0 win, tops he wants now for 4-3. There it is, 15 darter. Well, I would argue he's got a bit of momentum behind him, Steve West.
He has now, and boy did he throw those fast.
96.
Well, for the cameras to keep up. Well, he's definitely a tops kind of guy, isn't he? He's not a 16s kind of guy like Huybrechts is. And that seems to be the thing with modern dart players. You're either a 16s guy or a tops guy. There's a bit of shoulder in that one. Did you see the flick of the wrist?
And that's it. The longer this game goes on, and the longer Kim Huybrechts' campaign today goes on, the more and more you feel that that may become a factor. And Kim was very keen to stress this elbow problem he's had is relatively new, but he's had this wrist issue.
140.
It's been exacerbated by this sprain that he's had, but he says he had a problem with his wrist for some time now, and he's not said anything because he didn't want to use it as an excuse. I don't think he really
83.
wanted to let other players know that it was bothering him. But it's got to the point now where it's become so obvious that there's no getting away from it.
Well, injuries in darts are now becoming more
153.
of a common occurrence. Treble 19. come back to that topic in a second.
Requires 70.
This is a very important 70 points that he's going for, two with double eight. Double four. Oh,
62.
Westy can get back in it now.
60.
We know he loved tops. Going to get 2 darts at it. Decides to go to the left. Now down for double 10. He's not moved back to the centre of the board. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Steve West pins double 10. It's 4 apiece. And having been 4-2 down, Steve West is now throwing to go 5-4 up and within one leg of a first ever Euro Tour quarter-final.
Going back to what we were saying about injuries, I've had my fair share over the last couple of years, so I know all about them.
180.
Talking about players like Mark Durbridge, who had to have pretty much an arm reconstruction. And he had shoulder surgery and elbow surgery. It's really hard to come back from things like that, but sometimes you've just got to say, you know what, my arm is done for. Hold on a minute. Pens down, everyone.
What sort of thing is happening here? Steve West, 180, 180, 141 points stand between West and perfection.
Pens up, everybody.
130.
Still a great leg when he needed one. Just to hammer home the fact that if he holds his throw in this match now, he will win. And in gladiator type style, he's won the crowd.
Steve required 11.
Certainly has. Double 4 for 5-4. Double 2. Oh, he's missed it by a long way. He's in the madhouse. Kim Huybrechts looking at a massive one here, but even if he doesn't take it out, he could get another 3 darts at it with West stuck on double 1. Big, big moment in this game coming up. If Huybrechts takes this leg, he is overwhelming favourite to make the quarters. But Steve West, double 1. We've all left it. We've done it in the pub. There's a lot riding on this, though. And there it is.
Steve West. 10 leg is Kim Dedreau first. Game on.
I was just about to say he's in the Richie. The Richie Madhouse Headhouse, who we've seen on the European Tour a couple of times this year.
125.
A little nod from Huybrechts. He liked that.
What will be the reply? Another 180? Oh my word.
20.
That is savage. That is savage. It would have been a 4th 180 in this game for Steve West. It would have been his 15th of the weekend, believe it or not. That is Kim Huybrechts' 3rd of this game.
Well, this game is culminating into something quite ridiculous. And I don't want it to stop, but I know these guys do.
140.
They want to get to 6 and they want to be thinking about quarterfinals, but there's a long way to go.
58.
Steve West would have killed for that extra 60 points in a first visit.
$41.
Looks like we're going all the way, Dan.
38.
We may well be. Kim Huybrechts.
$86.
Well, he will come back with 2 darts, probably at double 16, to take us all the way to an 11th and deciding leg.
60.
Steve West has not applied as much pressure as he might have done. That's so close to busting his score, but it doesn't matter if he takes out the double 8. Which he does. And Kim Huybrechts is taking Steve West all the way. West will have the throw. He is the favourite to see this out. But there is not much between them.
93.
Oh, this is where one treble visit's become very good, and that was a very, very good treble 18. Just emphasise the fact that I'm fighting, I'm grinding. But that is a little bit better. That first start is just starting to drop a bit, but the recovery shot
96
is okay.
Well, Steve West has already taken out 1 ton plus checkout in this match. If you can just find 1 treble per visit and then take out something just over 100, it may be enough. May be enough.
We'd love a 140 here, and again the first dart's low.
57.
Now you just feel that Kim Huybrechts has taken the initiative We're getting to the nitty-gritty part of the game, and Huybrechts is just playing that little bit better.
100.
We said earlier that Kim Huybrechts loves a fight. He loves a scrap in a game of darts. He has got one. Steve West has given him one. And that is a great visit.
Kim Repar 167.
That was a wondrous 140. Absolutely sensational second and third dart. Got no idea how we got them in.
100.
But he's up there
Kim Repar 150.
with 115 for the match now. 96 left. He says.
57.
So now he's got to rely on the Hurricane not hitting this 67.
Tops. Misses
47.
low. Is that the end for Huybrechts? The unseeded Steve West on the crest of a wave. It's been an unreal month for him. And he is into his first ever Euro Tour quarter-final. It just keeps getting better for Steve West. He will take on Alan Norris for a place in the semi-finals tonight. It is Chisnell versus Mark Webster. Jelle Klaasen versus Joe Cullen. Alan Norris versus Steve Simply the West. And now we will set up our final quarter-final. Michael van Gerwen faces Daryl Gurney in the last game of the afternoon session. But Mensur Suljovic, a winner on the Euro Tour just last month, will face Dave Pallett, the unseeded 26-year-old from Shropshire, who still harbours a faint hope of qualifying for the European Championship in Brussels at the end of the month, Hasselt at the end of the month. That will be in Belgium. Kim Huybrechts, the Belgian, will be in Belgium for it, but he will not claim a third Euro Tour title.
Steve, congratulations. For matches like that, you need really confidence, right? In that close situations. That's something you have already. You have right now.
I have a little bit of confidence, yeah. But if you're playing someone like Kim, you know he's going to hit you. He's going to hit you hard. If you don't take a chance, then you've got to take that, and I'll take that, and I've did that, and luckily that's what got me through.
This morning you told me you didn't sleep very well. You've got enough power for this long day that which could be?
I'm going to chill. I'm going to chill for 5 minutes and see what happens.
Okay, great to see you later again. Thank you very much.